touch me, heal me.
Touch me and heal me. Welcome to Men's Morning Lights. I'm your host, Trapper Jack. You and I have something in common. We have a lot of things in common, but one in particular. We both want a healing of something. Mine's blindness. What's yours? Maybe it's pain. Maybe it's cancer. Maybe it's diphtheria. I don't know what yours is, but we all want some sort of physical healing somehow. I am assuming, right? Okay. I got an interesting little message about aligning ourselves with God a little better to get there. Let me show you the role model here. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, I'll tell you what this is. This is in Medjugorje, and this is the risen Christ. This is Jesus as he was on the cross, but now he's off the cross. His arms outstretched, welcoming, loving us, wanting to hug us, right? But you will note he is no longer wearing his cross. He has joy. He has peace. He is in complete alignment with the Father. He's not walking around with the cross on him anymore, right? In a Catholic Mass, we talk about making present the cross, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about right here, right now. He's healed. Shows the wounds, but he is healed. And the question is, how do we achieve him? How do we achieve what he has? How do we get rid of our cross? Because what you can't see in the picture and what I'll describe to you is at the base of this risen Christ is the cross he was on. The cross is bent. It shows his body. He once was embedded into the cross, so it has his imprint in that cross, but he's not wearing it anymore. It's a great reminder to all of us of what he had that he doesn't have anymore. And the cross that we, too, can be rid of when in alignment. Something kind of strange. It's funny. Actually, it's kind of funny. Sort of. A few days ago, I had a pain in my jaw. My jaw was out of alignment. It's like I couldn't even chew right. It was just out of alignment, right? And that night, while sleeping, in the middle of the night, waking me up was this shooting pain in my jaw. And when I woke up, I saw why I had a shooting pain. My my fist was like against my jaw. My arm was positioned just so, and I had, in my sleep, literally shoved my jaw back into place. My bite was perfect. The pain was gone. Had to go through that shooting pain, but the pain was gone. I was alignment, and I'm going, what was that? Again, God speak, what are you trying to tell me, God? And God is saying to me, look, I can just fix your jaw. I can go, zippity-doo-dah and bang your jaws back into, and he does that a lot, the zippity-doo-dah. He loves zippity-doo-dah, but he that's not what he does. He wants our cooperation and healing, doesn't he? He always wants our cooperation. What does he want? We need to be in alignment with him. My fist and arm were in such a position, putting me in complete, perfect alignment, so then he could, in the spirit, if you will, shove my fist into my jaw and align everything. But I was cooperating by being in the right position. That's what this episode is about being in position for a healing, for you and for me. Okay. And again, our role model is that cross, right? That's where we want to get to. That's where we want to get to. So here I am, and I'm carrying my cross, and you're carrying your cross, and that's all good. Redemptive suffering, it's all good. The problem is we're picking up crosses that aren't even ours. I want to talk about that, too, in all of this. Last time I talked about this, I mentioned how I had... I do with it? Maybe I still have it. No, I don't. I have a little recorder. And on my recorder, I made a little note many, many months before going to Medjugorje, something our priest, Father Joe, had said. And he had said, be careful not to hold on so tightly to your cross that when it's time to let it go, you can't. I repeat, be careful not to hold on so tightly to your cross that when it's time to let it go, you can't. We can become so embedded in our cross, we can love our cross. There are benefits to blindness. Nobody asked me to do laundry. Nobody asked me to mow the lawn. Nobody asked me to go to the store to pick up the milk. No, so I have to understand that. And so I was sitting in church a while back and just making this understanding with Jesus. I said, you understand, I'll be glad to take those responsibilities if you take this cross away. I wanted him to understand that because sometimes we can love our crosses. We can love that poor guy, or that, we can love being, and the point is to get off the cross. Our mindset has to be, yes, I want to be rid of this and all the benefits that it brings to me. Here's the cross again. Here's the role model. Here's Jesus Christ up. He's not on the cross. He has joy, peace. He is in alignment with God. He has reconciled everything back to the Father. He is good. That is our role model. Now then, what did he do for me? recently. When I asked about this, about getting rid of this cross of mine, I said, take me to the wound. When did all of this begin that created the mindset that allowed, because we can, with our mind, we can create a better environment for blindness, for cancer, for diphtheria. I don't care what it is. If we're not in the right alignment, there can be a weakness there. And I went back. I said, what, show me some wounds. And he took me right back to when I was 6, 7 years old. He showed me some bullying guys and how that could manifest itself into blindness and other things too. This morning, he took me back to when I was 17 years old. It was interesting. I was so frozen then in fear. I was afraid of everything. Why? Well, my biggest fear every day was someone would find out that I was losing my vision. I actually didn't tell my parents and siblings, friends, nobody, because who would like a guy that had defects? Seriously thought it that way. I had picked up a new cross, a cross of fear. That cross has no place. That is not a God-given cross. I had picked up a cross that had me following the devil. Have you? Here's my question. Have you picked up any crosses along the way that have you following the devil and not Jesus? And that can happen in a lot of different ways. That can happen as you go through life, a bit of unforgiveness. You pick up this woe is me, and you pick up that cross. You're not following Jesus because you know that you gotta forgive everybody. 7 times 7 times 77 and all that stuff, right? There's a mindset to it. You know, something happened, and this tells you how much fear I had in my life that started back then. I was president of the class, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, and by the time I got to high school, I was a 0. What the heck happened? Fear, complete fear of everything around me. I was encased in fear that began with the vision stuff, but then just grew out of that. I started seeing the benefits of just closing down completely. So there I was, 17, and I'm not kidding, this morning, I'm in tears thinking about how uncomfortable I was in my life literally suicidal at the time. And this morning, part of my prayer was that what got me there was I asked Jesus, I said, when in my life were you missing? When in my life did you leave me? When in my life did you abandon me? These are real questions. Did he ever do all those things? No. But in my mindset, when were you missing? When did you abandon me, Jesus? And he took me to 17. He actually gave me the Frank Sinatra song, When I Was 17. That song, it took me right back to there. And I said, why did you abandon me? I didn't feel you then. Immediately I get back an answer, because you didn't let me in. But I did send somebody. And he did. He sent me this girl in my class. This girl, she looked like Liza Minnelli, young, cute Liza Minnelli. She was just cute. And for some reason, she liked me and hung out with me in study hall. And she tried to crack through that veneer. I don't know what she saw in me, but she saw it. And she tried to crack through and failed, because then she just at some point walked away. She was sent, I know, by God to crack through. He tried everything. And he could not get through the encasement of fear. So I go back to you again. What crosses have you picked up along the way? Out of fear? Out of pride? What about lust? What about greed? You know, the 7 deadlies and all that. But for me, the mothership was the fear. That just paralyzed me about doing anything. So he's got me now. He's got me going back to when I was 7, back to when I was 17. The next one I know is going to be 27. He's going to take me through this. He is healing me from the ground floor up. And I invite you to do the same thing with Jesus. In prayer, ask him, where are the wounds? Where did I feel you? As I look back, where were you not there, Jesus? And you'll get an interesting answer, probably as I did. And then you start understanding how he's saying to us, I can't heal you unless you're in alignment. You got to have your arm and your fist in the right place so that when you thrust, I'm doing this through you. But you have to be in the right place of getting those wounds healed in order that you allow from the bottom up your vision to come back, the cancer to go away, the diphtheria to depart, whatever it is. I truly believe this because, I've told you this before. I'm getting a healing. I'm going to get my vision back. And he is aligning me right now to get that done. And this is what I want for you. I want a bunch of us coming through this. I want a bunch of us coming through with healing. Step number 1, if you're Catholic, hit the confessional. You've got to clear everything out. It's a sacrament. It works. If you haven't been in a million years, go. Who cares? Just do it. I'm telling you. And the spigot gets turned on with blessings. Okay, there's that. Unforgiveness has to go. It's biblical. You don't. If there's someone there lingering, you're going to have a heck of a time getting a healing. That's a nice way of saying it ain't going to happen. Got to. I'm sorry. You gotta. And then you got to start asking those questions. Am I carrying a cross, Jesus, that you didn't give me? See what you get back. When weren't you there, Jesus? And you'll get an answer and why it seemed he wasn't there. Okay. Because keep in mind, again, the goal. And I got to tell you, while you're looking at the cross, or as I explain the cross to you, every time I hear this song, this is Rise by Herb Alpert. And this is the song that plays that is supposed to and does drive me back to that cross. When I look up at this Jesus who isn't wearing his cross anymore, peace, joy, it's not on him anymore. And that's where he wants us. But wait a minute, Trapper. What about redemptive suffering? That's a good thing. When we offer it up, that are you totally bypassing redemptive suffering? No, it's powerful. However, it doesn't mean you're always supposed to be carrying that same cross. What if he wants something else for you? What if for you, like me, he wants you resurrected out of your blindness, out of your disease, because he has other things he wants to do with you. He does with me. I can bring souls to him if I see, because that's a story. That's a loud story. And he can do things through you that he has planned for you. But sometimes we hang on to our cross so tightly that when it's time to let it go, we can't. I'm embedded in that cross. I kind of like that cross. What's that old story again? You go into the church and everyone brings their cross and you throw it up in the altar. Okay, everybody take the cross you want to take it home with you. And what do? You grab your own cross. You know your cross. And that's what we do. We can become embedded with it and love that cross, and we know it, right? And maybe it's time to let it go. Maybe your season is up too. My season is up. I know that. Whatever that means, I don't know how long the season is. But I know that paralyzing fear is departing. It's been leaving for quite a while now. I see how he's putting me into an alignment now. I see it, right? And I know when I go back to Medjugorje, and I stood there and I'm looking up at this cross, and Jesus is up there in this rarefied air, 30 feet high. That's where I want to be breathing the air. I don't want to be down here in this 5'11" air. I want to be up there in that 30-foot air. And it's nice and fresh and it's joyful and it's peaceful and I'm in alignment with God. That's where I want to be. That's where I want to be breathing. And as I was praying to Jesus at this cross, I heard back, it's done. Yeah, I know it's done, but when? And the answer is, when you're in alignment, when you cooperate, when you put the fist right here by the jaw and shove. I'll do the shoving. You just got to get it in alignment, and I'll make it happen for you, buddy. And that's the message I get back, so that when we get to that point of the this song, touch me, heal me. The rest of the lyrics. This is another song that's been playing in my mind, right? So what are the lyrics when we spiritualize? This is from the rock opera Tommy. When we spiritualize lyrics, we get rid of what it meant before. Now, what do those lyrics spiritualize mean? I'm praying. This is a prayer from me to God. See me, feel me, touch me, heal me. Then the lyrics say, listening to you, God, I get the music. And don't I, though? Don't I, though? I get the music. And I spiritualize the music. Next lyric, gazing at you, I feel the heat. That takes me to the Eucharistic adoration. Gazing at you, I feel the heat. Following you, I climb the mountain. Now I'm in Scripture. How many times Moses goes up that mountain, or Jesus goes up the mountain to pray to his Father? That takes me to Scripture. Following you, I climb the mountain. And then I get excitement at your feet. At your feet. And that's where I am, back at the cross again. I'm at your feet looking up at you with all that joy and all that peace and all that alignment, and you are the role model. You are my role model, Jesus. You are leading me to healing. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to do what I did, and I'm praying for your healing. I want to hear stories, man. I want to hear stories. I'm going to be a story. You're going to be a story. I feel it, man. I just feel it. Here's what you're going to do next time you're in prayer with Jesus. First, am I carrying crosses that I'm not supposed to be carrying? Am I following the wrong guy with my cross? Have I picked up fear? Is that a cross I am grabbing and following and buying into the the evil one's conversation with me that, yeah, you should be afraid. Yes, you should be prideful. They did you wrong. You carry that cross. What about anger? How many times are you angry? That cross. Why are you carrying that one? You want to get rid of it? Ask him where it came from. Ask Jesus, am I carrying a cross that you don't want me carrying anymore? Time to let go. Season's over. The devil's time is over. Redemptive suffering, great. Maybe it's time for that to be gone too. I'm counting on that it is. I know that it is. It served its purpose. Let's move on. Let's resurrect. Next question for Jesus after the am I carrying crosses that I'm not supposed to be? Next question. Where? This is me talking. Jesus, where do I feel you are missing? Where do I feel abandoned by you? He'll give you an answer. And thirdly, what is your strategy, Jesus, for healing me? You know what he said to me? It came back right away. I am a wrecking ball against your fear. I'm a wrecking ball. It's coming down. It already has. More on the way. It's just coming down. Third question for you. What's the strategy, Jesus, for my healing? And he'll give you an answer. We'll talk more about this down the road. God bless you. Praying for your healing. Pray for mine. Let's pray for each other's, okay? See you next week on Men's Morning Light.